expensive and addictive than cocaine, and injected like heroin, it is the new Hollywood recreational drug do jour. Introducing Ozempic, the miracle fat loss jab now hitting the UK. CLEMMIE Moodie tried the Ozempic fat jab, which is popular among celebrities. So in demand is semaglutide, an insulin-stimulating drug originally used to treat type 2 diabetics, and the key ingredient to weight loss injections. Demand is now heavily outweighing supply. But as our investigation shows, it is not the morbidly obese or vulnerably ill who are religiously injecting themselves in the belly, it's the rich, famous, and already very, very skinny. As one bona fide British actress told me at an event this week in West Hollywood, I'm pretty open about my life on TikTok and Instagram, but going public with Ozempic is a hard no. If people knew me and so many of my friends were on this stuff, we'd be cancelled in a heartbeat. It's depriving people of medication in the name of vanity. But it makes me feel good, and no director wants a fat leading lady. For the first time I'm not obsessing over food. In a looks-obsessed industry, it's a game changer. And that's the reality. Black market trading is on the up, with unethical, private doctors getting a markup on every batch sold, while online pharmacies are selling out with barely a cursory check on patients. Anyone and everyone in Los Angeles is on the stuff and has been since it started getting traction in 2018 following approval from the Food and Drug Administration agency. Can't stop burping. So any celeb who's mysteriously lost weight over the past 5 years. Yeah, that won't just be running after the kids, gallons of Fijian mineral water or, even, a Peloton addiction. I'll let you do the celebrity maths. At present, reality star Kim Kardashian, comedian Chelsea Handler and tech billionaire Elon Musk have all been publicly linked to semaglutide, with the latter pair both officially coughing to it. Kim, meanwhile, remains mysteriously mute. Our own Jeremy Clarkson is also on it, but not because he wants to squeeze into a LBD. So how easy is it to get this injectable drug? Very, if you are uber wealthy or connected. Or a good liar. After filling in health forms on an online pharmacy in the UK, stating I was 5 feet 2 in and 8 st 10 pounds, a message popped up saying I wasn't suitable for prescription. I.e. not fat enough. Half an hour later, back online, I adjusted my weight to 19 st 10 pounds stone. Bingo! I was clinically obese, and in for around 55 pounds. So despite exercising at least 4 times a week, and being a perfectly healthy size 10, within 48 hours a batch of Saxenda, another brand name, alongside others including Mounjaro, Wegovy or Ribulus, was on my doorstep, packaged in an icebox. Over in LA, the process is more complicated and a lot more expensive. For celebs, it's a case of who you know, with private doctors providing the stuff through a friend, so there's no recourse, for a staggering £1,200 for 1 month's supply. Health insurance covers the drugs for the genuinely obese, or diabetic, otherwise it's a case of more subterfuge. So, from the comfort of my hotel room, I filled in yet more forms, this time giving a fictitious law-based doctor's details, as well as the usual age, date of birth, weight, and medical history. I was asked to scan over some picture ID and then, horror of all horrors, have an online consultation with a doctor. A quick pillow up the jumper, and I have a deceptively thin face, and problem solved. Over on TikTok, the hashtag number Ozempic has been viewed more than 888 million times. People are alternately expressing shock over their weight loss or slash and swapping horror stories about the side effects. These include sickness, diarrhea, constipation, exhaustion, excessive burping and, now, hair loss. Day 1 on my Saxenda jab doesn't go to plan when I don't remove the plastic cap containing the needle and spray semaglutide all over the cap. It feels odd needlessly pinching skin to inject something foreign into my body. I don't love it, but feel fine, and later notice I leave some lunch on my plate unheard of. Similarly, at dinner I just have salmon and some steamed veg. I feel like Victoria Beckham. Day 2 goes similarly well, and for once I'm not constantly thinking about my next meal. It's liberating. Then things start to go badly wrong. I'm utterly exhausted, and after dragging myself to the gym, I immediately go back to bed and snooze. I wake myself up, retching. I am physically sick 5 times over the next 2 hours. It feels like norovirus, and I spend the rest of the afternoon either vomiting or sleeping. But if my colleagues can bravely report on the front line in Ukraine, hold ministers to account in Westminster and expose bloody crimes, I can keep jabbing in the name of looking like Kim Kardashian. Minus the arse and face. The next day I am sick 3 times and attractively can't stop burping. That night I go for dinner and drinks and get hammered because I've barely eaten for 2 days, and then feel incredibly sick, either because of the booze, or the jab, it's hard to tell. The next day I bruise my tummy after, foolishly jabbing in the same spot every morning. And the fetching burps haven't gone away. But the nadir comes when I go for a run on the treadmill and, out of nowhere, start to dry heave. People are looking at me in disgust as I flail about, trying hard not to projectile vomit. I am sick into my hand towel. By the end of the week my stomach is noticeably leaner and my clothes are all fitting better. 1 or 2 people comment. Drug firms winners. For a second I forget about the treadmill vom and norovirus and consider finishing the course. I lost 5 pounds in 8 days. But vain as I am, I'm not quite insane enough to put my body through it anymore. According to the medication's own disclaimer, around 10% of users experience side effects. Chatting, anecdotally, to those I know who are on it, this figure seems suspiciously low. But who knows? Google searches have gone through the roof on both sides of the pond after Wegovy was approved for use on the NHS last month. Semaglutide works by lowering blood sugar levels and regulating insulin. The drug also imitates the hormone glucagon-like peptide 1 which we produce in our intestines, limiting appetite by signaling to our bodies that we feel full. Trials found those on it lost around 12% of their body weight and slashed their odds of getting type 2 diabetes by more than half. US reality stars Patrick Simpson and Paula Tew, who host Amazon Prime fashion show Gown and Out in Beverly Hills, readily admit to being part of the Ozempic craze. 3 months ago Patrick weighed 15 st 5 pounds and today he is 13 st. Paul has lost 30 pounds since being on it, he says. Alarmingly, Patrick admits a recent blood test and medical showed he had swollen kidneys, a result, perhaps, of the jab. It has not deterred him. Patrick, 52, says, I sometimes dry heave, but that passes after a few minutes. It's a small price to pay. I've gone from a 3/7 iron to a 3/1 iron waist. We have a WhatsApp group with our doctor called the Skinny Bitches Club, and I keep adding friends who want to get in on it. Maybe I am cheating, but I am doing something good for me. It's improved my mental health as well as my physical health. Adds Paul, 57, but yes, we are hooked. At parties now everyone is saying how this drug is more addictive than cocaine and a hell of a lot more expensive. Sure, people don't want to see our guts on TV, but we are doing this for us and no one else. A private nurse practitioner, based in Nevada, US who is unwilling to be named on the record admits to dishing out the jabs to some of her patients. She says, it is subjective whether it is ethically correct. But from a medical standpoint, doctors are using the drug off-label, i.e. for its side effects, weight loss, rather than for its primary source. The drug companies are the winners as their profits are linked to volume sales. In the last couple of years there have been shortages of common medications, so an increase of patients using Ozempic for non-diabetes purposes could well impact the supply for people who genuinely need the medication. She's right. A cursory Google search back home shows that Ozempic is now currently out of stock everywhere. Sure, annoying for the rich, famous, and already body beautiful. Potentially devastating for those who actually need it. Elon Musk has confessed to having used Ozempic as a means of losing weight.